This is the Multiply Your Business Podcast, episode number 4.
Welcome to the Multiply Your Business Podcast, where we bring you inspiring interviews with top entrepreneurs on how they generated more leads, closed more sales, made more money, developed the mindset they needed to be successful, and how they built the business and lifestyle they always dreamed of. We'll teach you how to do this too. Broadcasting from the Black Card Book Studio, here is your host, Scott Morrison.
Hey guys, welcome in again to another episode of the podcast. Thrilled to have you on board today. This is going to be one of my favorite topics, and I'll introduce that here in a second. But just want to take a moment and thank you wherever you may be in the world. Thanks for making this a part of your day. I know many of you listen to podcasts out for a run, driving, some of you while you're trying to go to sleep. Hopefully you're getting a lot of good value and good information about the podcast. So the topic we're going through today is very near and dear to my heart. It's all about building strategic partnerships. We're going to do something called a Dream 100 list. I have a ton of good resources for you. Towards the end of this, I'm going to give you a bunch of freebies. I'm going to give you one of my secret weapons as well. So we'll talk about all that here in a second. But before we get going on that and really get diving into the podcast itself and the topic itself today, a couple housekeeping items. The first, at the website, multiplierbusinesspodcast.com, we still have copies of the Multiply Your Business book by Jerry Robert available. Now, these are real physical books. I'm holding one in my hand right now. I don't know if you can hear through the microphone. The page is turning, but I have actual books that we'll be mailing to you wherever you are at. We had a bunch in a warehouse still. I know that the supply of that is dwindling. It's starting to go away a little bit. So if you want a copy of that, no strings attached, we will mail one out to you. Go to the website for the podcast and we'll get one of those shipped to you as well. It's a tremendous book, very easy read, but on top of that, tons and tons of great nuggets of information to help you on growing your business, how to multiply what you're doing already. Jerry goes through some of the core principles he's identified to help differentiate yourself from your competition or from other people. So please go and get a free gift from us. We'd love for you to have a copy of that. The second housekeeping item I just want to share with you as well. If you haven't already, and do this while you're at the website, go check out the events page. We have information about the upcoming Publish a Book and Grow Rich boot camps. Now, these are boot camps that we at Black Card Books, we run pretty much all over the world. There's a few places we're not in, but overall, if you are, we're probably having a boot camp there. If we're not there and you'd like one in your neck of the woods, let us know that. We'd be happy to try to arrange and make something happen. But these are incredible workshops. They're 2.5 days long. They're really inexpensive to go to. We give you all of the information we know about how to write a book and how to get it published. And these books become really your most powerful marketing tool that you have to show people why you're awesome at whatever it is that you're doing. So I really encourage you to just go check out the site, check out the events page, sign up for a boot camp in your neighborhood, go invest a couple of days in yourself. You will not regret it. You will be thanking us more than anything that you attended. And by the way, this isn't like a big sales pitch for the next boot camp. This is what we have. This is what we do. So we are going to give you everything plus a bunch of free resources that come with it, including like a book cover and an outline, and teach you how to write the book and all the resources and everything in order to be successful at putting together writing a book. That is all included in the boot camp. So please take some time, find the closest event to your area, sign up for it. If you do that, let us know. I'd love to hear about it. We'll make sure your staff takes great care of you. Make sure our staff takes great care of you, and we'll see it at one of the boot camps. So again, a Publish a Book and Grow Rich boot camp on the Multiply Your Business Podcast website. We'll have a link in the show notes as well. So check that out. So let's move on then to today's topic. As I said, we're going to be talking about today is how to build strategic partnerships and strategic relationships in your business. Lots of names this could be. Could be a joint venture, a strategic alliance, a marketing partner, all kinds of different things. And as we get going on this, let me explain my background and why I feel that I'm qualified to be sharing this with you. As I said already, this is probably my favorite topic, other than my family, my kids, of course, but I love to put together strategic partnerships. I truly feel and believe that my purpose in life is to connect people to opportunities where they can be successful, to help them accomplish whatever goals that they have established for themselves. Doing this and building strategic partnerships is my way I choose to do that. Now, what I find as well is for a business owner, it is one of the easiest and most powerful marketing tools that you have, because for the most part, this isn't really cost you anything, and you're working with other people, and there's just a ton of awesome stuff that goes into this. So we'll talk into that. We'll dive into that. But for a number of years, dating back to 2007, I guess, really, we'll start there at my timeline. I was working for Infusionsoft, and at the time, there's a couple dozen employees. We all knew each other by first name. In fact, my nickname ScoMo comes from that, which I'll share that story on another podcast episode. But I did a number of things there, but my last number of responsibilities while I was there is really working with their business development team. When I left, Infusionsoft hired me back on a contract basis to sell sponsorships for their InfusionCon event. Now they call it Icon. And I did that, and I did sponsorship work for a ton of different brands. Along the way with that, doing business development work. And all that work is about is putting together strategic partnerships, finding a brand, finding a company, partnering them with another company so both of them can be successful and accomplish whatever their goals are. I have put together hundreds and hundreds of partnership or sponsorship deals. That is equated to tens of millions of dollars. In fact, I can't even track how much money it's generated. The reason being, if I bring company A together and company B together, company A is going to promote their services to company B. The clients of company B are going to use that, and they're going to make more money. And they're going to grow what they're doing, and they're going to be improving their brand, and vice versa. Company B's customers are going to start using company A, and the same thing happens there. So it's literally impossible for me to track the cash flow and how much money is generated by putting together these strategic partnerships. I know for my clients, it's been tens of millions of dollars. For myself, I've made a very nice living doing this as well. There's just so much value in doing this. But for some reason, it's often overlooked. It's forgotten about. When somebody's starting a business, too often we're caught into, and I shouldn't say too often because this is very valuable, but we get started with, Facebook ads and our own email list, and let's go talk to our friends and our neighbors, and, let's go to who we know and let's start communicating with them. And then we're going to start spending money on advertising. That is all good and valuable and important. And I'm not shying away from that. I'm not telling you don't do that. What I'm going to tell you, what I'm going to share with you, is how to build strategic partnerships. Because here's what happens. You partner with somebody that already has a list of people or an audience or herd of people that you want to get in front of. If you form the right relationship with this person, you can get in front of their herd. And by the way, it often is more valuable than just cold marketing to them, because you're not just showing up in front of them, you're showing up with the endorsement of the person they already trust. Does that make sense? So if you go and find another partner, I'll give you a perfect example. Locally, let's take a restaurant and a gym like a fitness business. So I am a customer of the gym. I go to the gym, I go when I work out, I get personal training there, and I'm working on improving my body. If the gym owner tells me, hey, go down the street to such and such restaurant and order from my menu I've set up there, I'm going to do that because I trust my trainer has already looked at the menu, and those are the only foods I should be eating while I'm working out and while I'm accomplishing my fitness goals, whatever those may be. You see, there's a built-in trust that happens there. Now, this is an example of a simple but extremely powerful strategic partnership. And what that was the gym owner and the restaurant owner coming together and saying, this is what we are going to offer to customers. And they co-promote each other and they help each other because they have an overlap of the type of customers that they want to work with. Now, for the purposes of today's podcast, I really am going to teach you the principle of how to dream up your list, how to organize it, and what to do with it. Now, your list meaning your dream 100, your dream partners. I'm going to use this word dream 100 a couple times here today. Now, for purposes of full disclosure, I did not come up with the term dream 100. I'm not exactly sure who did, but I'm going to give Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels credit for that, because that's where I first heard of it years back, a podcast or an interview or something that he did. And then I've kind of run with it and taken some of the things he talked about and did my own stuff with it. But ultimately, what we're going to teach you today is how to build your Dream 100 list. I'm going to give you a ton of resources on how to do it. I'm going to give you worksheets on how to do it, outline how to do it. And then once you have this Dream 100 list, it'll teach you what you need to do from there. So, sound like a plan? Does that work for you? Seeing I can't hear you, agree and say yes. I'm going to assume if you're still listening, you're all in. So we're going to dive in now to some of the different ways to start putting this together and really outlining it. Again, this is powerful. This is one of the easiest and most powerful ways to really exponentially grow your business and help it expand. So let's look at first how to actually put together your list and who should go on to your list. Now, I truly want you to put together a list of at least 100 people, or at least as close as you get to 100 people. And I'll explain who those people are in a little bit. But the 100 for some of you, that's a big number. That's a lot. You're thinking that's a ton of names and people I need to put together here. But the reason for that is I want you to be thinking big. I want you to be thinking much larger than maybe you have already. But I want you to start looking at the possibilities of all those that are out there that you could be partnering with and you're working with. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to create 100 partnerships. If you can, awesome. Like there's no limit to this. Go for it. But I want you to at least start thinking of 100 individuals that you can partner with. Now, let's talk about that for a second. Most of the people on your list, you may not know. You may have heard of them, saw them, you think they're great, but you don't necessarily know them yet. For me, personally, on my own personal Dream 100 list, because I have done this, I've refined this a number of times, Tony Robbins is one of the first people on my Dream 100 list. I don't know Tony, although sometimes I feel like I do because I've listened and read and watched so much of his stuff that I almost feel like there's a relationship there when obviously it's a very one-way street. He has no idea I exist. But I look at Tony and what he's doing and the audience that he's serving and the people that he's working with, and I think that would be somebody I would love to partner with. That is a individual or a company that I would love to partner with. What I mean by partner is I would like to share what they do to my audience, and I would love them to share what I do to their audience as well. That's a partnership in one way, shape, or form. You're helping each other grow. You're helping each other improve. So I have no idea. And many of the people on my list are individuals or brands that I don't necessarily know. Many of them are people that I have an acquaintance with. Maybe they have a podcast or they have some sort of following, and I've listened to it and I've interacted with them, or I met them briefly at an event or something. There's some sort of small engagement that has happened there. And then many of them as well are people that I truly do know and know that they have a following, they have an audience. So there's somebody that I have a relationship with. I email, they respond. I call, they respond. They know my name, I know their name. We're legitimate friends on Facebook, not just the people that you your friend and you connect with, but you never engage with. So some of the people are there. So you have all these different types of people that are going to be your Dream 100 list. So here's a couple of core questions that I want you to ask yourself as you're putting together your dream list. And by the way, in the show notes, there'll be a place where you can get an infographic and a worksheet that has these questions on there. Take notes now if you're doing that. But these are some questions that I want you to ask yourselves as you're starting to put together your list of 100 people that you want to partner with. First, obviously, who would I like to partner with? Who has a following that I would like to serve? Meaning, who has a group of people already that listens to them that I can help, that I have something for. Maybe it's a product, maybe it's a service, maybe it's information, whatever it is. Who has a group of people already that I can serve? Who is influential? Taking a step back from there. Who is influential and has a list of people? And I don't just mean like a list, like an email list. Sure, that's a nice asset, but who has a following? Who is somebody that other people follow? I mean, today it could just be, an Instagram account with, hundreds or thousands or whatever people following it. It could be whenever somebody goes and speaks, people listen. Whatever it is, however you define that, who has a following? Who is somebody where I can add value to their community? Something that they're doing already. I have something I can offer. I have something I can add to it. And who has that it factor? Somebody that has it going on, their mojo, their swag, their whatever you want to call it. Who has that it factor that makes me want to work with them? So sit down for a few minutes, pull out a piece of paper, and start listing every name that comes to your mind of like, these would be great people to partner with. Again, some of them you may know, some of them you have no idea who, they exist, but you have no relationship to them at all. And some people may be acquaintances, but list it out. And then I'd encourage you to go into your Facebook account, look at every single one of your friends. I did this the other day, again, just as a refresher. I went through, I can't remember, I had like 1,500 friends or something like that. I went through all of them, every single one by name. And I made a list of like, yeah, I should be partnering with this. I should be working with this person. I should be doing that. So everybody that you're connected with, go to your LinkedIn account, do the same. Back to your Facebook account, go look at the accounts that you like. So maybe these aren't people that you're connected with, but these are accounts, pages that you like, or brands or individuals that you've liked on Facebook. Go through there. These would be people I'd like to partner with, and make a list of all that. And we'll talk in a second about what to do with it. But the most important thing is to have this list together. Put it somewhere that you can refer to it often. I have mine. I have an iPhone. I have mine on the notes in my iPhone with a heading. This is called Dream 100 List. So I know these are the people that I've identified. And by the way, as I'm out and about and I hear or I think of something or something comes to mind of someone else I want to add into that list, I just whip out my phone, type them on the list, and I've got them added to my list as well. So take some time and put together your Dream 100 list of people that you would like to partner with, people that you would like to work with in one way, shape, or form. Maybe you're not even sure of how you want to work with them yet. You just think, gosh, it'd be so cool to work with so-and-so. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and put together a list of that. I have one friend, he runs, he's working with a lot of millennial entrepreneurs, and he wanted to partner with the guys from Shark Tank, and he's partnered now with Kevin Harrington, which is one of the original Sharks, and with Damon John. And partners meaning they know of each other, they're supporting each other. Kevin is and Damon are in one way, shape, or form participating in their business or promoting their business. They are truly working together. Back to Russell for a second. He talked with Russell Brunson with ClickFunnels. He talked about he wanted to partner with Tony Robbins. 2 years later, he eventually became partners with Tony. And what that means is he was featured in an interview with Tony. Tony doesn't openly endorse and promote Russell. I don't think Tony does it for a lot of people. But in different ways, he has, shared what Russell's doing. Russell's been a part of his community. They're all working together. Another hot name I see a lot right now is Marco Simonis from The Profit. A lot of people that I bump into seem to be wanting to work with him. So there's tons of these names out there. So don't just think small. Don't just think, well, who could I get to? Think big. Who's the big name is somebody that you would like to work with? Who's the big name of someone else? I'll tell you another story that we did years back. I worked with a fitness business. We did consulting for gym owners all over the United States and all around the world, actually. My job was to do business development, do strategic partnerships. We formed partnerships with Tony Horton. Everybody knows Tony. Did a bunch of filming with him. He endorsed what we were doing. He shared it through his social media. We got a bunch of customers. We had Tony come out and speak at one of our conferences. Another guy named Joe DeSena, he may not be a household name, but he's the founder of a Spartan Race. And a ton of people, especially in the fitness world, know that. And Joe had an incredible story. So we formed a partnership with Joe. And because of that, they were introduced to another friend of ours to the fitness business who had his own business. And now Tony and Joe and some other guys were partnered in that business as well. So you see this just kind of slowly evolved because we put ourselves out there and we said, who are the different businesses that we want to partner with? So make your list. Put together 100 individuals that you want to partner with. If you go over 100, bonus points. If you go under 100, really try to get as close as you can to 100 individuals. Not just companies, individuals. The reason why I say that, if you put a company down, fine, but find an individual because companies are run by individuals. Companies are made up of individuals. So find an individual within a brand you might want to work with. So that's the first step. Step one, go ahead, make your list. Put together everyone you'd like to partner with. Now, on to step number 2, what to do with this. So now you have a list. And that's nice, but what are we actually going to do with this list? A couple steps you need to do here. It really comes down to 3 simple things. Subscribe, follow, and buy. So subscribe to their email list. It's as simple as that. Go find if they have a newsletter, if they're offering something. If you see one of their ads on Facebook or somewhere, click on it, go to whatever thing that they're talking about and opt in for it. Get their freebies, get whatever it is they're giving away. Subscribe. By the way, read it. Become familiar with content that they're putting out. Understand what they stand for. Understand who their audience is. Understand who they're trying to serve. Understand the problems that they're trying to solve. The best way to do that without sitting down and talking to them is subscribe to their list. So do that. Subscribe to whatever it is that they're offering. Next thing, the follow. Follow them, connect with them, friend them, whatever the heck term you want to use, on every social media profile or platform you can. Now, there's different ways, different levels of doing that. Facebook, for example, many of these people, you will not be able to just friend them because they have exceeded their friend limit of 5,000, or maybe they're keeping Facebook, their personal page, just for family and true friends. And then they have a business page. If they have a business page, go ahead and like that. If you could find them on LinkedIn, go ahead and connect with them in there. I find people tend to be more open to connecting with strangers on LinkedIn. Follow them on Pinterest, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Snapchat, on whatever else just came out I don't know about yet. Any different platform they have, go ahead and follow them from there. The other thing I forgot to mention is subscribe. Jumping back to there. Sorry to jump around, but back to subscribe. Subscribe to their blog, the good old-fashioned RSS feed. Set up a page somewhere where you can see all the different blogs come together. There's a ton of great services for that, but subscribe to their blog and read their blog as well if they're putting out regular content. So you're subscribing to their blog, you're subscribing to their email list, you're following them everywhere you possibly can on social media. And then on social media, one other little trick I want to share with you as well that I love. I use this all the time. Inside of Facebook, now this works for your friends, not for pages you like, but your friends on Facebook, people that you have friended and they've accepted your friendship on Facebook. You can organize these into custom lists. The way to do that is look at their profile, hover over the word friends, and a little menu appears and it'll say add to another list. Click on that and create a Dream 100 list. The reason for this is as you're looking at Facebook at some point, whether on your phone or your computer, you can just go to your Dream 100 list and see the people on the Dream 100 list. And then you're going to engage with them. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more here in a second. But you can now have organized inside of Facebook your Dream 100, the people you want to connect with. So take a few minutes to set up that list and then constantly be adding these people into your Dream 100 list on Facebook. You can do the same in Twitter. I know you can have, I believe it's called Safe Search there, where you can have just the people that you want to see. You can make that private or public, who gets to view who's on your Dream 100 list. Personally, I keep that private. I'm sure other social media platforms you can do that as well. But for now, those are the two that I find the most powerful is Facebook and Twitter, is to go ahead and put together your Dream 100 list. So that's the way to kind of start organizing on social media. A couple more things on subscribe, follow, and buy. One other thing on follow that's a little outside the norm of follow, but still is considered following, is go to an event where you know these individuals are either going to be speaking at or attending. So somebody's on your Dream 100 list. You see they're speaking at such and such event coming up. If you can make it, go. Go to the event where they're speaking at. The reason for that is you have a good likelihood where you can meet that person face to face, shake their hand, give them a gift, give them your business card, create an impression with them, set up a follow-up, meet them. This is your opportunity to meet them, hear what they're teaching, see what they look like in real life, get a good, be with them, understand their vibe, their energy about them. You can't do all the stuff on the internet, but in person, you can really get to know somebody. So go to an event where they're speaking at. Go specifically to see them speak. Do something like that. Now, some people as well, they will say what events they're going to coming up, but maybe not speaking. If you catch wind of that, and if you can make it to an event and it makes sense, go to an event where they'll be attending and make a point of meeting them while they're there. Events are awesome for this. Events are just so, for the most part, they're so open and an opportunity for you to meet people. It's one of the fastest ways to grow your network. It's one of the fastest ways for you to connect and work with other people. So if someone on your Dream 100 list is at an event, you need to be there. You need to go see them speak. You need to go meet them if you can. You need to come prepared to give them something so that they will remember you. So that is one of the most powerful tips I can give you right there. So that's step 2, to subscribe, follow, and buy. Now, the next piece, step 3, this is going to be adding value. In here, I'm going to talk about our secret weapon a little bit as well, but adding value. So here's a common misconception I hear often. You, the small business owner, you have whatever size following that you have. Let's just say it's small to begin with, or small or medium, or just getting going, or whatever it is. And you look at the other company or the other individual and you see, wow, they have this massive following. What can I possibly do for them? Well, you can still add a ton of value for them, because the one thing that every brand still wants, no matter where they are, is more exposure. Just go watch TV for a few minutes. Don't do the news because you'll probably get depressed, but go watch something. Go watch a sporting event. Look at all the advertisements happening on TV. Do you think those companies are on there because nobody knows who they are? No, they're on there because they want to improve their exposure. They want to improve their branding. They want to be connected to a new audience. They want to get new people in front of them. They want to have people they're already in front of to continue using their product. Big brands online, or these big experts that are out there, these people with a following, they still want to reach more people, or they want to engage better with the people that they're already working with. Well, guess what? You, no matter how big or small your brand and your reach is today, you can help them. You can help them get to more people. You can endorse them. It may be a small way, it may be a big way. But the ways to add value today, the easiest ways, and by the way, it is easier than ever to add value to somebody else, is to share what they're putting out online. Comment on their social media. Engage with them on social media. Share whatever information they're putting out, whether it be a blog post, a social media post, a podcast episode, they're on TV, you hear they're speaking somewhere, whatever it is, share what they're doing. There's an incredible book that you should get called The Go-Giver, where it doesn't talk about this specific about sharing online, but talks about in your life, instead of being a go-getter and trying to get everything back to you, that if instead you're a go-giver and you're giving as much as you possibly can, everything you would ever want in your life will come back to you. That's what I'm talking about here. Share what other people are doing. It's as easy as clicking a button nowadays. Now, be very genuine about it. Don't set up the autoresponders to automatically share people's stuff. I'm not a believer in that. I don't think that helps, because I think you need to kind of filter it a little bit. And one, you shouldn't be sharing everything they're doing, but also you should be looking at, wow, they're offering this. They are giving this information out. Does people that I know I'm connected to, could they use this? Yeah, I think they could. Great. Share it. Write a little message while you're sharing it and give it to other people. These people that you want to partner with, your Dream 100 list, they will appreciate that. They need that. And in fact, a little secret is most of them probably built their following by doing this. So share. Another way you can add value is, after you've purchased somebody's product, is to leave feedback and review the product. Think about it today. I think it's kind of funny, but this is the way we are as a society. I'll use myself as the example here, but I would imagine most of you are in the same boat. I am more likely to buy a product, go see a movie, go see some other form of entertainment if a friend of mine recommended it to me or it has good reviews than I am if an expert I don't know recommends it to me. I go in to buy a computer. If the sales guy tells me this is the best computer, I might trust him, I might not. But if my friend who's had a computer for a while, I know and I like my friend, says this is the best one, I'm probably going to buy it. Or if I look at Amazon and I see 4.5 or 5-star reviews, I'm probably going to buy it. Or wherever else the product is being sold. So you can do that to add value to your people. You can genuinely use and consume their product and then endorse it in your own way. Give feedback, review it. Say that is, say truthfully what it is. If you don't like it, be honest with them too. Now, you may not want to put that as public. Maybe you want to go to them privately and say, hey, this didn't work for me for this reason or that reason. But whatever it is, let them know your feedback and your review about a particular product. That's powerful, guys. Now, my secret weapon here on adding value. This is something that when I tell you, some of you are going to instantly say, I'm not going to do this. Some of you might embrace it and do it right away. But for those of you who instantly say you're not going to do this, I invite you for a second to put the fear aside and to step into a little bit of a bigger idea and a bigger world of how you can make a difference. And that is this. My secret weapon is to start your own podcast. Put yourself out there a little bit. Now, why? Well, there's a ton of reasons why starting a podcast is a good idea, and I'm not necessarily trying to get into all that, but there's a lot that you can do for your own branding and spread what you're doing and help a lot of people and so forth. But in this sense, with your Dream 100 list, the reason why starting a podcast is so powerful is that almost everybody wants to be on more podcasts. Again, going back to exposure, they want more exposure. So if you can contact one of these people and say, I have a podcast, I would like to interview you, I want to share what you're doing with my following, my listeners, they are almost always going to say yes. Now, the bigger the name, the harder it is to book, of course. But you'd be surprised. Some of the bigger names will still be willing to do interviews with you. Now, the other reason why a podcast is so powerful is because it's pretty inexpensive to get started. You could get started for free if you really wanted to, just using the microphone from your computer or your phone. But really, you want to make sure that you put together and some good quality, so it sounds good and so forth. So you might want to invest a little bit of money. But putting together a podcast and putting it out there is one of the easiest ways to engage with some of these people on your Dream 100 list. And our episode's coming up. We're only on episode number 4 right now with this podcast. Our episode's coming up is littered with people who are on my Dream 100 list. They are people I want to work with. They're people I want to part with, both with Blackheart Books and with other things I'm interested in. So they're going to be on the podcast because as one of my ways I can add value to them. So that, again, very, very powerful secret weapon you have in order to attract and work with some more of these people that you want to work with. Okay, that's step number 3, adding value. So the last step is to organize and engage. And I'm just going to kind of give you the introduction of this. And then in future episodes, we're going to talk more about how to follow up appropriately, how to form deals, how to sign deals for partnerships and so forth. But for this one, we already talked about how in your Facebook list that you have saved, you have your Dream 100 list. I would track on how you're engaging with these different people. Now, core people that you want to get after quickly. There's a program called the 8x8 or the 8-step. You can kind of call it whatever you want to call it. In the real estate world, they call it the 8x8 program. And it's very simple, and it's just this. Every week for 8 weeks, contact and connect with somebody that you want to partner with, you want to work with. Now, that doesn't mean for 8 weeks offer a partnership. That doesn't mean for 8 weeks sell them what you're doing. In fact, you shouldn't do that at all. Instead, it should be sharing information, to be connecting on social media, it should be mailing them something, it should be doing something so that you are engaging with them. They see your name, they see that you've connected with them, and you're putting in their head, like the movie Inception, you're planting your head, your name, and the reason why you want to work with them. So I encourage you to do that as well, is to start following up. Now, I have another system for you in this, another freebie that we're going to give you is an outline of the 8x8 and something that you can do very easily to start connecting with these Dream 100 people. So look for that in the show notes. Look for that, the freebies as well, is something that your 8x8, your way you want to engage and you want to follow with people. A bonus thing I'm going to give you as well, folks, is your customer profile cheat sheet. Now, what this has lots of different data points, but in a perfect scenario with your Dream 100 and many of your customers as well, and probably even people in your personal life, all the different data points or information you would want to know about somebody. So some of them are pretty straightforward, their name, email, contact information, what company they're part of, their website, some things about their past, their college or high school, when did they graduate, about their family, are they married, are they have kids, what are their birthdays, what are their important dates, what's their previous employment. I mean, there's all kinds of different things, even about their personality and who they are and what they're interested in. I recommend having a CRM. There's a lot of free ones out there. There's a lot of ones you can buy. There's a ton of different CRMs that are available where you could start tracking this information. But I encourage you to do it because this helps you connect with people a little bit better. One of my really good friends, who's also a business friend of mine, he's on my Dream 100 list. We've partnered. We've done a bunch of different stuff together. He loves cars. So I learned that once years and years ago, and I wrote it on my little profile sheet for him. And then I bought him one year a subscription to, I think it was Car and Driver magazine, one of the car magazines. It cost me, I think, $12 for the year. And every month he got that from me. And I'll tell you, that has done more to solidify our relationship than most of the business dealings that we have, because he's like, man, you really thought of me. You understood what I like. Thanks so much. So part of why you want to put together this information is so you can always be looking for opportunities to help somebody, give them what they want, provide value for them, improve your trust with them, really help them out. So that's it, guys. That's the Dream 100 list. A very quick review. Again, you have homework on this. You have the outline. You have a worksheet. You have an infographic. You have a bunch of tools to help you with this. But simply put together a list of 100 individuals that you'd like to partner with. Use the questions I gave you to identify who those people are. Subscribe to what they're doing online. Follow them online. Buy what they're doing. Go to the events they're speaking at. Read their blog. Do everything that you can to understand them and to start connecting yourself with them. Add value. One of the best ways to do that is share what they're putting out. Share that with other people you think would find it beneficial. Leave feedback and reviews for them. The secret weapon is to start your own podcast. And by the way, if you want some help with doing that, message me and be happy to kind of give you some tips that we've learned in putting together a podcast. By no means are we experts yet, but it's something that we can help you out with. And then finally, how to organize and how to engage and start working those people. So that's what we have for you today. Your Dream 100. This is all good and helpful and nice, but it doesn't matter unless you go out and do something. It doesn't matter unless you actually go out and implement it and put it into your business. This is super easy to do. So start today. How easy is it to sit down and put together a list of people that you want to work with? That is one of the easiest homework assignments I could possibly give you, or something that you can do. So go out, start doing this. If you need help, use this as a resource for you. I'm more than happy to help you, more than happy to support you. More than anything, I want to see you be successful, and growing strategic partnerships and having a Dream 100 list is one of the best ways to do it. So thanks for taking some time to listen. Now go out and multiply your business.